Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is March 6th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery here, and you can see this trough open up across the western portion of North America, continuing with this low pressure center off our coastline, showery, low snow levels here, getting some snow down to some of the lower elevations across eastern Washington. This is going to continue on for the next few days here. You can get some reinforcing shots of cold air moving out over the water here, but we shouldn't be expecting a significant snowfall to the lower elevations, although snow levels are going to be relatively low for a lot of this time frame. But then we're going to back this trough up over the Gulf of Alaska, it looks like, through the extended, and start to bring a more southwesterly flow across the region here. There is a potential for some stronger systems to move up with that flow as well. We'll take a look at that in the details here in a moment. This is looking off into eastern Washington. Check out even Moses Lake there. Snow covering the roadway. Look at Spokane here. You can see it covering some of the roadway as well out there up towards Highway 2. Even out towards Wenatchee, getting a little bit of snowfall this morning so far that I heard. You can see this is out towards I-90 in Spokane as well. It's backing things up and sticking on the roadways out there. So have that heads up if you're out and about today. Then there's going to be more snow chances as we go through the weekend, especially for eastern Washington out there. This is National Weather Service Spokane, and you can see there's going to be Friday, Saturday, widespread light rain/snow. Wintry travel is possible here. So winter definitely not over here across a lot of the Pacific Northwest. This is current hazards. You can see the winter weather advisories for those portions out there in eastern Washington. Does include southwest Oregon with the winter storm warning there as well. And you can see this activity continuing on through Montana there. Here we go, day one, thunderstorm potential here, mainly for the Oregon coast and into California here, but it does clip I-5 there today. Tomorrow it does include I-5 a little bit more here, but mainly just western Oregon here. Couldn't rule out a potential lightning strike off the coastline here, maybe the coastal regions, or maybe an extremely rare lightning strike inland across Washington the next couple of days, but it's unlikely at this point. Now taking a look here, the NAM 12 km hot off the presses. There's our upper level low spinning these showers in the form of snowfall here across eastern Washington. You can see the higher terrain getting some snowfall as well as the low lifts up across the area here. But we're just going to continue this troughing and continue to develop these weak low pressure centers off our coastline here and keep this active pattern here through midweek. Low snow levels, but no disruptive snowfall expected through the Puget Sound and the Willamette Valley here as we go on in through midweek. But you can see the shower activity just continue on in through Wednesday afternoon shown here. Now taking a look at 500 millibars, this is up towards 18,000 feet here, and you've got this big trough carved out over the northwest portion here, west coast of North America, I should say. And you can see the ridging up into Alaska here, just continuing to allow this cold air to spill down across the Gulf of Alaska into the Pacific Northwest here. And you can see this start to back up towards the end of the forecast shown here. Then we start to get a little bit more of a warm southwest flow into the region here, but this could also bring some stronger systems towards Pacific Northwest. More on that here in a moment coming up here, but you can see kind of the pattern change showing in the extended forecast, that troughing moving out a bit over the Gulf of Alaska here. Now, this is the GFS hot off the presses here. You can see our low pressure system off the coastline here, continuing to pinwheel showers across the Pacific Northwest, snows for the higher terrain. And then you can see this kind of continuing on. But then you see that subtropical jet kind of moving into California. It does include Washington with some more precipitation through this weekend. Could bring some wintry conditions east of the mountains as well, where it's colder. Continue on into the future a little bit here, and you can see some systems trying to move up towards the Pacific Northwest here. Some stronger lows moving up towards Vancouver Island and some of this flow here. It's just fantasy right now, but we're just kind of watching this potential for some stronger systems on into the extended forecast shown there, about 300 hours out. This is the European last night's run. This goes out 10 days. This is yesterday 4 p.m. run. You can see the troughing here continuing to bring those showers across the area here. Gets reinforced. Good agreement with the GFS there. More precipitation coming up as we go through Friday and this weekend, and that could bring some probably going to get some winter weather advisories here, maybe even some winter storm warnings across some of the higher terrain here with this system as we go on in through later this week. Can't rule out some snowflakes mixed down to the lower elevations here, even west of the Cascades. We'll watch that system closely, and you can see some tight gradients down the Oregon coastline there as well. So looks like we're going to remain active, folks, as we get systems continue to move through the Pacific Northwest here all the way into next week. Now looking here, this is Seattle-Tacoma. You guys can see the temperature trend here. Maybe a little bit of a bump up here as we get that southwest flow as we go on into the following week here. Now this is looking at Portland International. You can see a similar pattern there. Spokane, chillier, and you can see this weekend might be cold enough to where this starts out as some snowfall. Could be disruptive snowfall as well. We'll watch that system closely as we come towards this weekend. This is avalanche danger here, mainly moderate across the area. But again, this is a great site, avalanche.org, and you can really click in here and get the forecast, and you get the snow levels, and they talk about where the avalanche danger is where the avalanche danger is highest, really. You can see above the tree line, near the tree line, and below the tree line, for example, here. And they give like a discussion, and they show recent images out there. It's a really great website. So check that out if you're going out in the backcountry. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. You can see we still are included in the cooler than normal as we go through mid-March. 8 to 14 days, something similar there. And you can see this precipitation is going to be on the increase here as we go on in through mid-March and this weekend here as that system starts to move out of the southwest towards the Pacific Northwest. 8 to 14 day keeps California, Oregon, Washington above average as well. Now this goes out. This is March 3rd, and this goes all the way through the end of March here, and you can see this above average signal across Pacific Northwest. So this was issued a few days ago, but it does show that we're supposed to remain above average here across the month of March for the Pacific Northwest. Now check this out, El Nino 3.0. Look at that temperature. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that is no longer La Nina conditions there. It looks like we have moved into neutral territory here across the Central Pacific there. So we continue our climb out of La Nina conditions here, folks, and you can see the models. We are now in March here, and that's where the models said we would where we would be here, and that we're going to be climbing out and potentially into El Nino by the time we get towards summer even. I mean, this is June showing us getting into El Nino conditions shown there. So interesting changes coming up. Ocean transition underway here across the Pacific Ocean. So yeah, we're going to be dealing with this cool showery weather here for the next few days. You know, it's not bad at times. We got some sun breaks yesterday. It wasn't too bad. Then we brought the rainfall in. Pretty chilly overnight last night as well, as that the sky cleared up there. We had that radiational cooling across some of western Washington, and it really cooled off, and it brought a lot of ice. There was frost and ice all over my deck out there, so kind of treacherous out there. So just watch out for that potential in the overnight hours too, especially if you get clearing, and especially if you're east of the mountains there, where it's going to be colder versus west of the mountains as well. But yeah, we're going to bring kind of that pattern change. We're going to back this trough up over the Gulf of Alaska, start to bring some warmer southwest flow, maybe bring some systems, stronger systems up towards the Pacific Northwest and the extended as well. We'll watch that on into the future. But anyway, yeah, click like, subscribe. Yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys then.